Good morning. It's day 2. That storm hit. I'm sure that was an interesting flurry of cuss words that you heard last night. And there were many more afterwards. Literally, tarp blew off eventually, and bike fell over. Actually, I think you were. Can't remember if I videoed after the bike fell over. I literally had to just kind of toss my bike out to the side so I could at least get underneath the tarp. Lots of stuff got wet, me included. I did eventually get out, and the rain slowed down enough that I could reconfigure it, because the tarp was just laying on me and it was very, very unpleasant. So my bike was down at that end. I moved it up here facing the other way, which I don't like doing because of the chain, because you get grease on stuff, but it was worth it. Then had it set up. Several tent stakes are gone. I have no idea where the hell they are. I just kind of tossed everything under. I will say this about this tarp, and I'm going to find the brand name. I don't usually do brand names until I'm mad. There it is, Gold Armor. Yeah. Literally, the underside was as wet as the top side. I get it that, I needed a better angle and all that, but because things just weren't able to set up right, because the tent stakes weren't able to stay in the ground right, so I couldn't really get good tension. It rested on me, and I was soaking. After I got everything set up right, my sleeping bag, you can see where the tarp was touching. I don't think you can really realize that from here down is wet. All there was the part that was actually facing the tarp, and I don't know if you can really make it out, because it's lighter here, darker there. That is 100% from touching the tarp, and just the tarp was just literally wicking water through. It was dripping on me. Woke me up multiple times with water dripping in my face, so I was not pleased. I'm going to now try to figure out where the hell my cooking gear is. So I honestly don't know. Seriously, wind whipped up and just tossed kind of everything, and then I was tossing stuff all over the place trying to get it protected, and so that was my night. It did stop raining after a few hours, but God, the water problem didn't stop, because the tarp was just, quite frankly, garbage. So that was disappointing. I wish I'd had my other tarp. My other tarp I know wouldn't have leaked. You learn things in life. My other tarp, I got this one because it was a little bit bigger and lighter, and I'll use it for kind of fair weather camping from now on. But if I'm going to be on a trip like this, I'm going to take one that actually works. And other lesson I learned is that when you see a decent spot to camp, even if you're short on your mileage and you're, because I was already tired, if you know you're not going to make your mileage anyway, just stop. Because there were some spots I think I would have been better off in, because they must have had this must have been a spot that they kind of semi-leveled out and filled with gravel to do trail work. You'll see that all the time, because it's the beautiful grass, but literally the instant you poke in, you hit rocks, and it's gravel for sure under there. So this pad, I think, was built up to be a storage space for probably equipment and gravel, for the job, the work around here. So yeah, live and learn. By the time I figured it out, it was too late. I just kind of didn't have anywhere else to be. So, all right, I will see you later down the trail. I'm gonna make some oatmeal. All right, day 2. Getting ready to hit the trail. Lovely. Actually, it was an awful campsite, but that was because of the ground and equipment failures. Next time I'm going to do something a little more reasonable, where I'm going to attach to the fence. Like basically I'll peg at the ground, go up, tie to the fence, and then come back down to make a little triangle. Or I'll do it off something like this. That way, even if the ground's bad, at least it's anchored to something, so that the tarp, that apparently loves to have water, doesn't soak me. But this is the whole getting started thing, and I have to find somewhere to go to the bathroom because I got a deuce. All right. Give you a little trail action. Last night when I got up here, you come up here you come off the trail, and you turn like into a neighborhood, and so that was, I was just kind of like, huh, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that. My goal is to get to Tivoli today. I don't know how far that is. Probably about 70 miles or more. I'm not overly hopeful that I'm gonna make it. Wow, something dug a big old pit. Something really wanted to get on those train tracks. Alright. Of course you have to go uphill. Okay, train tracks, make sure you always go across them at as close to a right angle as you can, because otherwise your tires will get grabbed by the rails and the gap, and that is no fun. Oh yeah, excellent way to start the day. At least my legs will be fresh for it. All right, you do not need to see me huff and puff up a hill. I'll talk to you later. Okay, still day 2. Actually very early in day 2. It's really funny, they've got, I can't see it now, I went too far. There's these tracks here that clearly nothing has been on in a very long time. There's actually some trees growing along it. But and you can see the rust is, like, the patina is 100% coverage on the tracks, you know, sides, tops, everything. So there's no way anything's been on it in forever. There's a big sign back there where you have to cross them. It says active tracks, you know, be careful and all this stuff. Is like, no, they're not. Those tracks, however, I'm sure you can't see it, but from here I can see that they're like shining. The tops are shining, which means those are active tracks because the train is, you know, crushed off the rust patina. So I won't get on those. Of course, there's also a marsh in between, so there was no hope of that anyway. So I've seen a couple little baby turtles. I mean, like little bitty babies. Today was a little bit bigger, about like that. I didn't stop. I didn't take a picture. What a loser. Anyways, I will talk to you further down the trail, whatever. Well, I can't get on the tracks because they're active, so I guess I have to see further down the trail because the tracks are super dangerous. All right, see you later. That is a crayfish. The area next to me to my right, which I'll show you in a second, well, you can see a little bit of it now, is called the Great Swamp. I think it's pretty awesome. Ooh, that's my face. I'm taking a picture because I have never seen that before. That is crazy. I used to have a crayfish. It was an electric blue crayfish. Now, where are you? I've never seen them just wandering around on the, like, out of the water. Excuse me. Well, that is our nature show for the day. All right. Oh, okay. That was fun. Thank you for joining me. All right.